And hello and welcome to Dog and Tank Comic Chat. That took a little bit longer. I thought we'd get to start there. I did not wish to cooperate, but I got to cooperate. Let me just there we go. Scooch it in a little bit closer. I guess I'll give a quick update here. I have been well. First off, yeah, let me stop myself there for a minute. The character on the thumbnail is Devio. He is the king's advisor from Lacrimos's kingdom, Mathia kingdom. Um, Basically, he's been sort of her caretaker in the story. So I just wanted to give like a quick little rundown on him real quick before I really get started here and take that off so I'm not listening to myself echo. Let me just close this. And yeah, I haven't really had a good opportunity to live stream lately, which is why I haven't been live streaming. I've been trying desperately to get this stuff to wind down. I just broke down. I just had come on, change pages. And we're going to be difficult today apparently. And go down. There we go. So yeah, I've been working on trying to get the characters colored. Basically, I sort of reverted to my good old standby of doing pages in bulk, which basically mean for me I set up the pages I want to work on, and then I just hello hell the lore. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just been very slow over here. So I've just been working on pages, working on getting the characters colored, so I can then move on. As you see, I'm going through here trying to. Yeah, I got some more stuff in here I need color. I got lots of stuff I need color. This is the page, I think, maybe the last stream or second to last stream I mentioned I want to wait on, work on. Not on stream, since, it was a little bit more of a difficult one. And I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. Art-wise, I can always do better, but I really don't want to get into that cycle of, and this thing decides to do that. Give it a minute. Yep. I don't want to get into that cycle of basically doing and redoing the pages, because that is literally spinning your wheels getting nowhere. I made the mistake of looking at some of my, and you decided to just close on me. Come on, get back up here. There we go. So yeah, okay, I think I am done with that. Done with this page for the moment. I just wanted to get a color and go on to the next page. So yeah. I apologize for the thing going dark and then coming back on. I think it's because it's a little whelmed right now by how many pages I have open. If I can get this thing to zoom in. Come on. Yeah. Whenever you have multiple pages open on Clip Studio, and that thing just, I think it, wait, there it is. There we go. I think it gets a little whelmed. It's probably a little overloaded, but if I can just get to cooperate for a minute. Oh, screw it. I'm going to close you because you're being a pain. Come on, close. I don't need you. I need the other thing. And you didn't close. Oh, here, let me get rid of that. If it will close. I had Open Tunes open last night just because I was messing around. And I think that is why it's being difficult. Its last Nat died. So yeah. There we go. There we go. Let's see if that will make it work a little bit better. It's still a little choppy. I will work with it. I can work with this, yeah. I'd rather it be a little choppy then be a little, just not just do anything. So yeah, and that's the wrong color. Come on. And there we go again. Come on. Finally. I need to probably... Well, you know what? Let me get the... Oh, crud. Oh, here. Come on, zoom in. This thing does not wish to cooperate today at all. I apologize. And here we go again. I hate technology, but it's a useful tool. If it would cooperate, it would be wonderful. If it would stop closing for... You know what? Let me just close this. Wait, cancel. Let me just go through real quick here and save everything. Then we'll see if it'll cooperate. Since it has decided to be enormously difficult. There we go. Now it's not. Come on. So we're gonna be doing this today apparently. This is gonna be a very frustrating stream at this rate. Yep. So, on to other things while I wait for my computer to stop fighting with me for 5 minutes. How are you guys doing, for anyone who's listening in? Overall, I'm doing good. Like I said, I'm trying to get these pages finished if Clip Studio would stop being difficult for 5 minutes. There we go. Thank you. Get that thing to finish doing its thing and then move on. And now something else is being difficult. I'll wait till this thing gets done doing the thing, and then I will go on to the next thing. I'm tempted to just shift my focus today. Oh, cool. It's coming along slow but surely, hopefully. It's like anything, it takes time. And it takes the computer cooperating. So, yeah. So, I guess while I wait for this thing to get done grinding, I'm trying to think here. Yeah. Well, what the heck? What kind of story are you working on, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, there we go. Now we're cooperating. Let me go to the next thing and save you before you decide to be a problem. And where you're being. There we go. Oh, that was much faster. Zoop. And we'll refresh that because... Okay, cool. So yeah, how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay, I'm only working on 8 pages. I thought I had more than that open besides the one I already finished, but okay. I'll work with that. As this thing continues to... There we go. So yeah. And I guess do a quick little thing here while I wait for this thing to save. I like doing like flashbacks and stuff in basically limited color slash grayscale because I like making it clear to my readers that they're reading, they're seeing the backstory or a flashback or something. So I like trying to convey as clearly as possible. Oh, cool. That's very cool. Yeah, that's the best way to you just start writing it and you figure out the rest later. My problem is I've gotten to the point I want to turn everything into a darn comic, and that's probably not the healthiest thing to do in life. It takes so long whenever I'm tackling everything, but I love the art form too much that even whenever I look at some of my older stuff and I cringe because it doesn't look that good, and it's like, yeah, but I love the art form, so I guess I'll just keep doing that. But yeah, I've thought about doing manga style, which, the black and white, just because that would be a lot less time consuming. But in a way, I just like doing color better because I've I just feel like for me, color is a tool to convey so many things. It just is for me. I mean, that's not to say that there aren't people out there that can just work absolute magic with black and white and grayscale, because there are. But I have my thing that I'm good at. So yeah. Yeah, once this thing gets done saving, I want to check on something real quick here. I think it'll run better once everything gets saved. Since we're on the last page to save, I'm hoping I'm right. I'm just going to refresh the chat here real quick. Okay. I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat because I feel like as soon as I don't, flip, someone's going to comment, I'm going to miss it. Now, what is this mess down here? Oh, okay. Okay, good. That's nothing I need to worry about. I could have probably just gone on without worrying about it, but I'm glad to get that cleared up. So let me see if I can finish painting Severus's crown in the next few pages. Because then I want to shift gears. I want to start shading in stuff, even stuff I haven't actually colored in yet. Just so I can get something done. And I like doing my shading in bulk. Just go in, do all the shading, and I can always come back and color in stuff later. So, there we go. I don't know whether or not to consider Grieving Princess to be dark fantasy. I mean, it's the thing. I know I took inspiration from, so I don't really know. It has some dark parts to it. I will say that what I've written up to, it has some very dark parts to it. Very scary. That's why I say I aim my writing for like PG-13 and up, because I don't I don't try to get too scary. I don't like really putting in too much blood. But I also don't really pull punches sometimes whenever I do fights and things. So yeah. Hello. We have somebody else watching. Lovely to see you. Let me just... Okay. Shift down here. And just shift colors. So yeah. So yeah, this is, for me, like the start of the story is the tip of the iceberg with this one, because there is a lot of stuff that I think is fairly implied in the first 22 pages. Not so much implied, are mentioned. There we go. That are mentioned, that give you, I think, kind of an idea of what's going on in this fictional world. And let me just go ahead and lengthen that. There we go. And so it's something I feel like, anyway, you're going to have to really read as I try to get the parts out in my little thing that I'm planning to put together. I'm trying to put together. And so, yeah. I was actually really happy. I feel like I could have done better on the start of the story. I'm always going to nitpick my own work because I always feel like I can do better. I made the mistake of going over chapter 1, A Phantom Eclipse. And it's like whenever I first finished it, I think last year, or give or take, wait, the year before last, I finished it then. And I went over it today, and it's like I saw so many things that I could want to go in and fix, but at the same time I don't want to go in and fix because it took me so long to just finish it, and I have already redone chapter 1 of Phantom Eclipse so many times. It just seems to be insane to just go in and do it all over again. Even though what I would want to fix would be mostly maybe trying to improve the background, but I don't know. It's that thing of there's a lot of work involved. Granted, this is why I work digitally, so I can fix things if I decide to. But I think that was something. I tried to fix the key problems. What layer am I on here? Okay, let me get this thing to work here. It really is. I mean, with Phantom Eclipse, I redid it. I got some good feedback from some people. From, is it Tapas, Tapas, and they gave me some good feedback. They said that it read more like a web novel or something. Like if it was in that format, then that would be good. But it's in a comic format, so it needs to be a little less wordy. I did my best to fix that, to try to show more than tell. I was rereading that today, and I did feel like it could do with a little less dialogue maybe. But I think that I did about the best that I could, and I will live with it. I think things improve later, about as best as they're going to. Exactly. I think that's what I was really thinking about whenever I was doing the soft reboot to Phantom Eclipse, was just to give enough information that people can grasp it, and pray they hang in there for the rest of the ride. I still need to get around at some point and finish rewriting chapter 2, because that was one, I felt like that was a wasted chapter in a way after I thought about its initial time on Webtoons, because there was just I just felt like I could have done more to like set up the Phantom core a little bit, and that's part of what I did with the reboot of the first chapter. I went in and I tried to focus. I asked myself what were the things I wanted to keep, what I want to cut, etc., and so on, what I wanted to add in, and so I made that my key thing. I wanted more focus to be on the Phantom Core itself, and it becomes a bigger focus in Chapter 2 because there's so much shady stuff going on there that I felt like I could have highlighted to begin with. So that's what I did, and I'm really happy with what I wrote so far in Chapter 2 of Phantom Eclipse. Come on, there we go. Ease out. Okay. So yeah, I'm about done with the characters on this page besides shading, which is great. So yeah. And you decide to be difficult. There we go. Zoom back out. So yeah, I'm trying to get to the point where I can write a good story, but I don't spend so much time just poking at the start, because the start is the most important thing. It's both the most important thing, and I think it's the hardest thing to get right, especially in one go. But you don't want to make it convoluted, because I feel like that's what can happen when you overthink it. An overthought story, I think, can lead to, keep it simple, I think, is the best way to go. Come on, zoom. And we go in too far. So, I will just leave it there. So yeah. My problem, I guess, is aside from the art, well, it's primarily the art, I guess, is because I tend to look at things and it's like I might be satisfied with the story, but it's the art that always gets me. That's where I think someone in Tapaz, besides giving me really good feedback on sort of what I need to do to kind of make it more comic-y, or comic-like. I will cringe now I've said that forever, but basically to, make it less wordy, and the art need to upgrade. And I think I've made several steps in the right direction, but I'm still evolving. And I guess that's what I like about this sort of medium, is writing and art are both mediums that you never really know everything all at once. I mean, even if you get to, I guess, what you could consider like an advanced stage, there's still something to learn. There's never not something you can't learn. And that's good, because a problem I think with some art forms is if you get kind of, thank you for the share, Hell the Lore. Thank you so much. So yeah. And yeah. I've gotten better at doing comics, I think. I have this guy in the background that I need to color. I made a mistake because I realized I basically put into a page too many. Then I realized how I could use it. Well, not quite a page too many, but basically, this was basically the end of the dialogue. So now I had the idea of putting in this panel to sort of hammer home a little bit of kind of the mood that I was going for, along with this panel here, and gave this dude back here a little cameo, although it'll be a long time before you see this guy back here again. So yeah. Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna shift gears here and start shading, because I have plenty of stuff to shade. So, let me find what I need here. Condense that. Okay. I guess I'm leaning towards doing 2 shades 2 layers for the shading here. Because I feel like for this art style, it does better with having that extra layer to just add depth. Especially in like an area like here, if you can see my... Here, let me zoom in a little bit further. Come on. We're being difficult again. There we go. But basically, like this area here, you know, I would... Well, here, let me just demonstrate. We're going to have a lesson here. Or an attempted lesson, I'm not sure. So, let me just... I think that's what I've been using. If not, I can always fix it later. But basically, just come in here and... Yeah, I got that clipped. To the right layer, yeah. I think I might just scoot it up, and then come in here and get rid of that. There we go. And just go ahead and there we go. That's better. That looks much better. I appreciate every little bit of help I can get, because every little bit of help counts, in my honest opinion. There we go. Now I can start shading. Now I got my layers fixed. And I'm gonna come over here. We got a happy bit of shading over here. And then I'll probably come in here with the blur tool later and basically soften it out here on the wings to sort of feather it a little bit, because the wings are kind of translucent. And so the light just goes on through. And we're going to... This area will be darker, as will that. Down here on the foot. Since it's sort of tucked up under her a little bit, except for maybe like the toe. And we're just going to bring that up. So yeah. So yeah. I guess a little something I would like to say to any potential beginner comic creators is that comics is, as a whole, it is a marathon, not a sprint. I wish I had known that back whenever I first tried to start. I think I'll lighten that a little bit more, because I learned that the hard way. I mean, you have a lot of people that are new that get into comics through like webtoons. And that's not to say webtoons isn't a good thing, but webtoons I think can really just drain people right out the gate. It can be very exhausting. And I left down the wrong tool. There we go. There we go. Just feather that outwards. So yeah. Personally, I think that a lot more beginner comic creators should do a lot more research on what it is that they want to do if they want to get into comics. Because I think it's easy to just jump right in. It's good to jump right in. But I also feel like it's easy to get overwhelmed. There we go. And realize just how much harder it is than you thought it was. Because that's what I did. That's what happened to me. But I'm still trying to hack it anyways. Okay. With the hail the lore with the opening to my story, I want it to be simple and quick for the reader to understand. Oh, cool. That sounds interesting. Yeah. It almost sounds like it have a little bit of horror vibe to it. But Yeah, that sounds like a very good start. I'm definitely curious what happens next. Like, why is the potential demon want to take the child? What's going on with that? But I won't. That's something I would want to read myself when it comes out. I don't like spoilers. But yeah, that's got my interest just right here reading it. Yes, there we go. And there we go. Hmm. There we go. I'm gonna finish shading Lacrimosa here in a little bit. Since basically what I'm doing is I'm sort of trying to highlight where it's darker compared to the rest of the shading because of where things overlap. So we're just gonna put happy little shadows here and there. Yeah. I think one thing I like about manga is that you can learn a lot from it. I've learned a lot from looking into different mangakas because these are people who have learned from other mangakas. And that's something I think is a really good thing that they have over there. Well, where they will have like a potential, basically people who want to do manga and they work under like established or going to be established mangakas, and that that gives them the experience they desperately need, while also giving them an idea of what it's like in the industry itself. But they really just they have a formula. I think a lot of the mangakas have a formula to how they do it, which I think is really good, and that's something that I've tried to learn from, and that's why I guess I try to put more work on the story itself than I do the art in a way, because I partially sort of approach that with the thought of art itself, I can get that to improve in time. But once the story is drawn, then I don't really plan on, I guess, trying to do much more with it past that point. I mean, I do editing, but once you see me doing the pages at this level, I'm done with writing the story. I'm just focused on getting the art done, because part of that is because I've sort of tried to make the workload easier by kind of breaking it down into phases. Like a writing phase, I write on something, I develop it to a certain point. Technically, I'm still developing Grieving Princess, although I guess you could say that you're not really ever done developing a story. But I want it to be definitely It's already, I think, leagues above Phantom Eclipse in some ways compared to how I've developed the two. Just on that level alone, by how I've developed them, because I didn't develop Phantom Eclipse very much. It's developed now, but not whenever I started. And that's because I've since learned a lot. And I've moved away from what I did at the start. I wish I knew a lot of things I know now. Yeah, that's one thing I find really interesting in manga is how they tackle, I guess, the subject of theming. Because theming for me is a little bit difficult because I'm the type of person that I write what I have in mind, but I don't really do too well, I guess, with like theming and things. Like I can get a little bit here and there, but it's on a much lower level compared to a mangaka. How certain mangakas, I guess, would do it for comparison's sake. But that's, different people do things differently, and we all have different strengths. I just want to put out a good story. I think I'm going to make that smaller. Yeah, something I've really tried to focus on, especially if I have an idea that I really want to pursue as a potential comic, is I try to sit down and I try to develop it. Just sit down, develop it. I do an outline. That's something I did with Grieving Princess. I just did an outline for what was arguably the first arc. And as I was then writing it, I found a lot of things that wound up just being cut because I realized that's not where I wanted to go in the story. So I went a different way. And I think another way to develop a story is to just do a one shot or just a short story, and you just do the short story, and then you can sit back and you can reread it, and it's that thing of you have a lot less commitment to it to a certain degree, but you can also look at it. Yeah. Look at it and decide whether or not you're happy with it. And you decided to glitch out on me. There we go. I may server finds me shadows later. Yeah, I'm gonna be quiet from time to time just because I'm focused here, so I apologize. I've just been trying to get this stuff wrapped up because I have a pile of other things I want to jump into. Well, not so much. Well, both want and need to jump into. So I would like to just get this baby wrapped up. Get the first 22 pages wrapped up, so then I can go focus on the other things. Because there are lots of other things. Hmm. Real. And just come over here. I think in a way there would be kind of a little bit more light maybe getting through to sort of give the illusion that, you know, there's light coming through because he's beating his wings, but because he's beating his wings, they aren't static. Well, flapping his wings. They aren't static, and so there's going to be more light getting through compared to like whenever he is just static. And just sweep. And then after I get done with shading, it's going to be the highlight section of the thing. But right now I'm just shading, and I'm not counting on actually getting to doing highlights till probably after this stream is over, because I want to be realistic here, because I keep saying I'm going to finish such and such page during the stream, and it comes back to bite me because then I don't finish it because I just don't get around to it. And I may not be streaming as much for a while because I'll just be trying to get this stuff wrapped up. I have one page I need to draw for this, and that was one I've sort of thrown around my head for a while now. I'm to the point of I just want to commit to it and do it, because I feel like it will sort of elevate the story a little bit. There we go. And poo. I missed a spot. Oh well. I have been watching Hunter x Hunter, and I did not expect Kurapika to be this rad. I'm getting those chains he has, lol. Oh man, that was one fight I was looking forward to seeing, because that is just, I haven't seen that scene in Hunter x Hunter, but it's one of those I think sort of just stick with you. I mean, the fact that part of it is just how insane the fight that went down. The other part of it is the fact that he brought a shovel. I mean, who on earth has ever brought a shovel to, you know, their fight? I mean, he had it planned. But yeah, I need to rewatch that. I actually sort of wanted to rewatch Hunter x Hunter at some point. I haven't gotten around to it. I appreciate the fact that it is, I think, entirely canon, because it came out years after. I think that there was like a 90s Hunter x Hunter anime, because I've seen the art floating around somewhere, but I went for, I think that the one everyone goes through for is the more recent one in I want to say 2012, but as soon as I say 2012 I'll be wrong, but it's a little bit more recent one. I would like to see them catch up to the manga, because there's a lot of stuff that I haven't watched yet. I tried to find the part in the manga where they left off, and I couldn't find it, so I would have to probably dig a little deeper. But yeah, that was an insane fight right there. Oh yeah. Uvo Jin didn't have a prayer, I don't think. I mean, that was just. I need to rewatch. I think that's probably on YouTube somewhere, but so I can just rewatch that fight. But I just need to. I haven't watched that in a while. See, that would make for some good rewatch, quality rewatch. And I appreciate the fact that they did do a more recent one. I'm just not a fan of filler because I feel like filler is just. I'm to the point that I don't really like watching something if it doesn't add to the story or it's not canon. I like it being canon. So yeah. I'm trying to think of some other stuff, but I don't want to say anything because I know that you've hit that fight, but I don't want to give more spoilers. That and I haven't seen it in a while, so yeah. I want to wait and let you get a little bit further. I mean, Hunter x Hunter, I think I remember watching it for the first time. I was just blown away because you could tell just how much thought went into the development of the story. And I just really appreciated it. I mean, that is just a level to want to aim for. If you're, whether you're a mangaka in Japan or you're, a comic creator over here in America, as in, but yeah, that's just a level of its own. And that's not to say other people haven't put out good stories, but it's just its own thing. Make that a little bit smaller. I can't wait for you to see, I think, the Chimera Ant arc. Now, that one, if you think the York New arc is nuts, then you're going to really think that one's nuts. I shall just duly leave it at that. I think that's the arc that, like, literally everyone and their brother talks about the most. And I kind of can't blame them because it really is worth that much hype. It really is. It earned the hype. Yeah. That was. That is kind of a scary scene because they are basically just criminals. I mean, they're a criminal family, but they're just horrifying their own right. Although, I really like that one member, the pink haired one. I can't think of her name, but she's pretty cool. I also like how thought out the abilities are in Hunter x Hunter. I mean, that's just. You watch something, you're like, I never would have thought of that whenever it comes to just certain things, and I put that in one of them. That's easily at the top of that list. Yep. Oh, yeah. I don't think I can really put any shading up on that one thing because that's already really dark. And I feel like I can't really make it any darker. No, I just flipped out on this section. I just did a little bit of whatever it's called. Yeah. Hmm. Let me just find what I'm looking for here. I think part of what makes that system work is that it's simple and it's so versatile at the same time. I think with power systems, it's really power system or magic systems, whichever one you want to call it. It's really easy to want to make it kind of convoluted and hard to understand. And I feel like that's kind of a beginner mistake in a way. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, just keeping something simple so that the readers themselves understand it thoroughly is ultimately the best thing you can do. I also think that like you put in certain rules, I think for certain things, and it can sometimes come back to bite you. But Hunter x Hunter, I think, sort of just completely evades that problem because it is a pretty basic concept. I mean, I sort of wonder. I guess one thing that I never really understood or found a little bit confusing was why Killua didn't know about Nen until the tournament arc. Because in a way it doesn't make any sense since his family, clearly knows it. His dad uses Nen, his grandpa does. But I've always just sort of wondered about that. But it's a thing of, even if that is some sort of plot hole, I feel like it's sort of an acceptable one because of how well thought out everything else is. So, but who knows? Maybe there's some in story thing that I haven't seen yet where where the creator clearly, like explains that in story or possibly out of story. In general, I like things where they're explained in story because I feel like if you have to explain something out of the story, then that sort of takes away from it a little bit. But that's just my opinion. Here we go. But overall, yeah. Okay. There's also the greed arc, I think, between. Trying to remember. Is the greed arc? I think greed arc is after York knew maybe. Here, let me Google that real quick. Hunter arcs. There we go. I'm not interested. Okay. Hunter exams, Zoldyck, Heaven's Arena, York New City, York New. Darn it. There we go. Give me something simple that is in. Okay, I was right. Reed Island is after York New, so that's a pretty good one. Wow. I think one thing that really makes Hunter x Hunter stand out is that each arc is really interesting, and I think that can be kind of a killer in between some arcs, is if the plot slows down a little too much. But I used to I used to watch a lot more anime and analyze it a lot more, but I'm kind of to the point where I watch it more for entertainment. Yeah, so do I. I mean, York News, like, I see what you did there. Mm-hmm. I'll give him points. I'll give him a point. We'll let him get away with that one since he's done so good and everything else. York News. I think that there's also some other ones which are clearly sort of paralleling real life cities, but I can't think of any right now. But yeah. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Indeed. Certainly. Hey, we all need our breaks sometimes, and this thing just, I apparently missed a spot, but yeah. Sometimes when you're creative, sometimes you just can't think of something better, and sometimes things get through. Sometimes those things are deliberate, but yeah, everyone deserves a break. Have a Kit Kat now. No, we are not I am not sponsored by Kit Kat. That's a disclaimer. Yep, and there we go. And we fixed it. Let me just, oops. Okay, did I get all the spots? I got all the spots. Cool. There we go. There we go. So yeah. Go in there and just. I think I'm basically done. Well, wait. I want to. Don't really think I can do much more shading up here. Maybe sort of. There we go. Wait. Round that out a little bit. And come over here. I want to do a little bit of shading down here on this bit, because I sort of wanted to highlight the fact that she's getting knocked out of the sky, sort of going off into the darkness since it is nighttime. It took me several times to get this page done. This was one I just redrew and redrew and redrew, and that last redraw was the one that finally took, because I just was not happy with the first ones. There we go. And save this thing, so hopefully it won't come up the works like it was doing earlier. Part of me is tempted to do some shading on Severus's wings, but I'm not sure if that would actually... I would probably have to do a little bit more work and blur that. So I will leave that to another time. So I can just go on to the next one. And, okay. Come on. There we go. There we go. Oh, hello. Thank you. I'm just gonna come up here. I'm gonna put the happy little William Burn up here. That's a cute cat you have as your profile pic. Everyone loves cats. Well, mostly love cats. I think there are people out there that don't love cats, but I like cats. Cats are cute. And, okay. Put that layer above. Oh well. Just sort of come in here and... Okay. What have you been watching on your own time? I can't really think of anything of note. Haven't really been watching... I've been watching a little bit of anime, but it's sort of... I like watching... well, not really much. In all honesty, not much. Since I've been trying to kind of... I don't really think that random videos on Instagram count. I mean, that's basically like the stopgap there. Aww. Aww. It's a cute name for a cat. Poor baby. That sucks. Oh, hello. Okay, cool. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I just sit here and work on comic stuff. And unfortunately, the critters probably are just wondering what earth they're going on, since they don't... I don't think animals really understand why all of a sudden we humans have problems. Well, I think they do, probably to some degree. I don't think we give enough credit sometimes. Yeah. Going downward. Just come here and go. Let me check this real quick. Okay. I don't think there's any gaps here I really need to worry about. Oh, wait. That's connected. That's connected. Okay. Good. So I won't be sitting here for the next few minutes waiting for the stupid thing to fill so I can fix it. Good. Aww. That's what hurts about animals. You know, they get attached. I mean, in a way, it's a good thing that the cat is friendly to everybody, because sometimes cats can be little difficult, and then they just have like one human. But there are cats out there that will just get attached to anyone in the home. I have a cat myself. Her name is Katie, and she's a sweet little, somewhat usually sweet. She can be a little difficult. Yeah. Yep. That's always good. I think that also just shows what good animals they are. That they're working with that pretty good. Hopefully, they're pretty good. Yeah. Thinking away cats and dogs, I think there's always that thing of whether a person is a cat person or a dog person. I'm just an animal person because I like most animals, certain ones being, the exception for certain reasons, but yeah. I don't think I could handle having to relinquish my pets to someone. Yep. That's what matters, is that you know that they're not abused or neglected at the end of the day. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for dropping in. Mm. Hmm. uh, birds. We have some birds. We don't really have any, I think, rescue ones. I don't think. Well, one in particular, he's a cockatiel, and he's sort of kind of that Toby is Toby thing. We don't really handle him, but he's a good bird, I think. And it's like anything, he would probably be, yeah. Oh. Oh. Two dogs, a foster dog, and a 2-year-old human. That's cool. Here we go. Tidy that up. I think I'll come up here and add a little bit more shading. I'd rather not say. I'm not really comfortable giving off my location on social media, you know? I just consider myself a kind of, I guess, a nobody from nowhere, you know? Oh, that's cool. I don't know. I have yet to. Yeah. I don't know. I have to. I'll have to pop over and check out your show sometime before I make any choices like that. Just come over here. Here we go. My problem is that I can't always live stream when I want to live stream, so I have to just work with when I can, you know? So I would have to kind of. That's one reason why I've just been trying to live stream. I'm just trying to build a following to get my name out there, get my work out there. You know, get some good traction going. Mm. I'm in the middle of sort of trying to start a business here. So it's just I'm just trying to get this stuff done. I'm a little, yeah. Everyone really is. I guess that's one thing that frustrates me a little bit about social media. It's really easy to find people that are also creators, but and there are a lot of helpful people, but I kind of feel like it's a little frustrating because you know you're trying to, yeah. It's hard just to find, I guess, just regular people, but I guess sometimes you just have to just climb the ladder. Sometimes you gotta get known, I guess, by other creators. Get the word out there, I guess. Come over here. Oh, thank you so much. That is King Severus of the Sturm Kingdom. As I choke on that word. There we go. There really is so many awesome people. I mean, I know that there are people out there aren't so awesome in terms of how they're handling certain things, and this thing's gonna grind again. But there are a lot of really good people out there, and I guess that's one thing I like knowing is that there are also there's also other creators out there, and they're, you know, everyone's fighting everyone's fighting the same great fight of just trying to get out there and get known so they can, you know, make some headway. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I guess I will see you next time. Thank you for dropping in. It's awesome chatting with you too. Mm-hmm. Have a lovely night yourself. Darn it. And we're just gonna come here and just I think I'll go ahead and wrap up the live stream. I guess a late thank you to whoever I guess watches slash listens to this later. Thank you so much. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy, and I will see everyone later. Sorry for the computer problems early on, but thank you so much. And I guess bye bye if I can get this thing to cooperate. And there we go.